Welcome to Coaching with JBK.
So, welcome to another vlog with your host, Coaching with JBK. So, the one that I'm going to be speaking about tonight is the formations. So, formations, and I've mentioned this in other vlogs, is going to be about a podcast. And not just a podcast, but just a general conversation about the formation change from what it was for the best part of 7 years to what it's going to be now, going into the new decade. So, last few years since probably, I would say 2015, maybe even sooner than that, maybe even 2008. And the reason why I say that is Barcelona. Barcelona pretty much played a 4-3-3, which you could pretty much change into a 3-4-3, which could change things as much as you could over time. Ironically, Germany won the World Cup with a back four, and that was a 4-2-3-1, which was used adamantly for a long time in German football, going across Europe and possibly even into South America. And the 4-2-3-1 is the way that you would go forwards. The difference is now is a lot of teams have seen that you can defend as well as attack with a balanced four-person defence. Yes, you've got the goalkeeper at the back and it can be classed as five, but you look at it and there's enough of a balance to go with a four-person defence, outfield, I should say, where if you've got those six going forwards at the back, there is at least some going making the effort to, and the conscious effort to stay in position. So you may even go with a box four. And when I say a box four, it's two central defenders, two central midfielders who are basically holding, and you've got two wing backs. That's the best way that I'm going to say it. Wing backs who so happen to just venture forward, don't even know what the halfway line looks like, and makes up the ground as much as they can whenever they need to. Case in question, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, and this is in the Premier League, by the way. Those are the only ones that I'm really talking about. And Cesar Azpilicueta, Reece James. We could go on and go on and go on. These are the ones that I'm talking about. Andrew Robertson, Luke Shaw. We're going for the record here in terms of how many players you can really talk about that just literally go forward from a fullback position and end up either inside the opposition box, or will be looking to cross that ball from not too far from the opposition box itself. But it still leaves it to remain that it's a back four whenever the team doesn't have the ball. So what it was a one, and I'm going to say this because you never miss out on your goalkeeper. Funny enough, the goalkeeper is the main position that must start all games. Has to. If you don't have a goalkeeper, game is forfeited straight away. That's one of the rules. Always, now that you know that, make sure you've got a goalkeeper. Even if a goalkeeper coach, if you want, just make sure you've got a goalkeeper on the pitch. Okay? Make sure he's got gloves, because if he doesn't, you're breaking your hands. So, moving on from that, yes, you're going to have four defenders in front of him who can cover the space in either zonal or man-to-man marking. Now, if you've got one defender who goes man for man, or player for player, I should say, because we do have female players who really are good, by the way, going for the ball. So you have a player for player going for the striker. It still leaves you with four players to still cover behind. If you have four main defenders who just won't move their position, then you have five players. Either way, it's a balanced defense. Whatever happens ahead of that is up to the manager. Whatever happens within that system is also up to the players. The players can really change that as much as possible. You can train them, you can drill them into whatever positions that they might understand. The problem is every game tells a story. The story is very different from the last game that you had. Very good case in question here is when Manchester United women played Reading, and they played them at the Medeski Stadium. That's in Reading for anybody that doesn't know. And it was a 2-1 win to Manchester United because they were relentless on the counter-attack. Again, the game that came ahead not too long ago, the reverse fixture, Manchester United lost it to Reading 2-0. What happened was Reading worked it out how to get around that system, and they just played as a safe back four, but also had their front three pretty much working together in Dan Carter and Jess Fishlock. So you had very good players in those positions. Just again playing in midfield, but really helped out in the midfield as much as possible to try and get the team forward in the right areas. As much as I saw, it's one of those things where we no longer have a back three, or we no longer have a solid two at the back. We've now got somebody who's willing to stay in midfield, who is a defensive midfielder. And we also have two central defenders just in behind them that will create a triangle. But at the same time, when the team hasn't got the ball, you now go into revert back into your back four formation. And then that's what it actually is for most people. Yes, you'll have players going forward. It won't be necessarily a 3-5-2. It will just be a case of people moving in different positions. Again, one of the terms that coaches like to use a lot is half space. With the half space, again, you might have two players on the same line, where if the ball gets shifted in one area, just somebody who's offset on that line with the toe might actually be able to be creating a different angle for the person on the ball to receive it. And then again, as they receive it, they might actually, you know what, let me just play it inside or play it outside towards the person that's on the in that half space. Once you play it into the half space, you might be able to get yourself up the pitch a little bit quicker. But at the same time, if you can create the space within the zone, that's what you're really looking for. You're really looking for that zonal space where a defender doesn't know intelligently whether they should come towards you or drop off. Formation-wise, like as I said, the back four is really the question of interest. You can have a front six, but it could ultimately decide on what happens with the back four. Never really truly you can actually go, okay, let's have a maybe a 2, maybe a 3, maybe a 5. No. If you get a 5, then you now know that the issue won't be where the ball's going to land. It's going to be how many times the ball will come back. And that's always been the case with a back 5. It's always going to be a case of, well, somebody's got to hold that position up front, regardless of whether it's a 5-4-1 or 5-3-2. It doesn't matter. At the same time, you're just kind of going, okay, we're just going to have to hold fire for a bit, and then hopefully we'll do the job when the ball comes into our half. At the same time, like as I said, look for those formation changes. It's the age of transition. I hope everybody enjoys this vlog. I know it's gone on for a lot longer than it needs to be. And I may just have a coaching session in a few weeks. You never know, I might actually play the back 3 or not. I'm going to play a back 4. Speaking to all of you guys, this is my vlog. Yours truly, JBK. This is the formation change. Transitional period is right here.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on social media, dropping vlogs, blogs, videos, and podcasts on the beautiful game.